My name's Nic Manikis and I'm the Director of the Community Participation Group here in the ACT Government. The ACT Community Participation Group has responsibility for the Office of Multicultural Affairs. This is an organisation that was first created back in 1995 by the ACT Government, specifically to advance the interests of our culturally diverse community. Here in the ACT, over a quarter of our population was born overseas, and around about 42% of our community today has either one or both parents born overseas, and this is quite a significant part of our population. The ACT Government is committed to promoting equality of opportunity and particularly also to maintain social cohesion. This is very, very important when we're trying to ensure that everybody gets on and has a quality of life and is able to reach their potential and participate in our community life here in Canberra, and this benefits absolutely everybody. It certainly is, and that's our objective. That's precisely what the objective is. We assist people to settle successfully in our community, and what that means is that they have a roof over their head eventually, and they have a job. And once you're on your way, once you have those two things. So what we've done is, for example, one of our programs that's been going on for 20 years now is the Work and Experience Works and Support program, which is an employment program, which whereby we assist over a 3-month period groups of long-term unemployed refugees and migrants. They come through and do a 1-month formal business certificate, and then they have spent a couple of months after that in a voluntary capacity in the ACT Government. I can point to many examples, in fact a couple of my senior staff who 15 years ago went through that similar program.
Wonderful.
It is wonderful, and in fact one of those staff actually administers that program.
Oh, really? That's great.
Indeed. So if we talk, and that's just one very small example, but that program in itself, even though it's very small, it only does helps 40 in 20 people programs a year, 40 people a year. Back 20 years, you know, we're talking about 1,000 people, but I often get to see around town people that have gone through that program with, you know, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years unemployed, did the program 20 years ago, and today are enjoying senior management roles in the ACT and Commonwealth Public Service. It really vindicates the program itself. But it goes to show how commitment by government, proactive programs put in place by government, on the ground, practical, can assist people. And whilst we have frameworks and policies and all the rest of it, unless they are executed on the ground, mean nothing to the advancing and enhancing people's prospects for the future. My passion for migrants stems from the experiences of my mother and father. So, and what I saw at times in the late 50s and early 60s, growing up in Cooma, which is a town just an hour away from here. My mother and father came here to work on the Snowy Mountain scheme and found themselves running businesses, and just what I perceived as the injustice and discrimination at that time. It was the wave of European migrants at that time, and just like every other wave since then and probably before then, suffered this discrimination, not necessarily blanket non-acceptance, but pockets of it. Been taken advantage of because it didn't have the language skills. I saw that firsthand, and these are obviously decent people that wanted to do the right thing, and It does. I've seen evidence of that. Of course, I've seen evidence of that. There's a very healthy volunteer base for all our service providers, whether it's Mars Companion House, Multicultural Youth Service, community languages schools. There's 50 of those volunteers. I mean, I can point to the National Multicultural Festival, which is another, let's show Canberra what lies underneath that public service veneer, which is the rich tapestry of cultures, and that's what that's all about. And that's once a year, 4,500 volunteers at least. All different communities. The Multicultural Festival, you see it there. Each one of those stalls has 10 volunteers from their community, don't get paid, they slug it out to raise funds for their respective organisation. There's 4,500 of them just there. There's volunteer teachers and assistants at those 50 language schools. What we do have though is coming together, sharing throughout the year, whether it's the Multicultural Festival, whether it's the Ramadan celebrations outside here at the square with 3,000-4,000 people from all around Canberra, not just Muslims, come to learn about the culture, experience the culture just for a couple of hours. It's coming together, indeed, coming together.